Last week I was at my mother-in-law's bedside from 4:30 on the Saturday morning until 8:30 on the Tuesday evening, and whilst the staff were impeccable, they were wonderful, they did an excellent job of looking after my mother-in-law, I have to say that communications between the staff was not good.
I am taken back to 3 years ago. My son had radiotherapy and chemotherapy, and he went to see a consultant. The consultant said, these are his words, "There's nothing more we can do for you, go home and get palliative care." When I heard that, I just felt as though everything I valued in life had suddenly gone.
My father had motor neurone disease and he was dying, and all we could do when we visited him was cram round his bed the best we could, because there wasn't much room in between the beds.
I think there are two problems. First of all, neither I nor my son Neil understood what palliative meant. We thought it meant go home, take painkillers and die. And I know people who've been in palliative care for many, many years, and I know now it's about quality of life.
I spent all of those 4 days behind curtains, closed curtains, and there was lots of noise, there was people shouting, and I'm sure they were oblivious to our needs.
There seemed a complete lack of understanding about his condition.
They were making comments that were not really conducive to our well-being.
And the only time that the consultant, the registrar, the doctors, the matron, nurses got us all together in one room was on the day he died, and say to us he's not going to survive the weekend. This was the first time anyone had really broached this sort of possibility.
The other thing was, there's nothing more we can do for you. And that is a death sentence, effectively. I was talking to a conference of senior medical people recently and relating that story, and one of them said to me, "I'm horrified by that because there's always something we can do." What he meant was, we can't prolong your life. What he should have said, we can make your life better. And I think it's that almost the harshness, the abruptness of medical terminology which protects them, which hides them.
And I think if there'd been some communication on the ward and people had said, actually behind that curtain a family are struggling to come to terms with the loss of a loved one, then I think if that was portrayed throughout the ward, then they may have dealt with us differently.